so like obviously you can tell just by my shirt, I filmed a lot of videos today. That's because I'm just so backed up on videos that I promised you guys, because during the holidays, my husband and I and the baby, we moved into a new home. So it's been very chaotic on top of the holidays, and it was my daughter's birthday, so it's just been a lot back to back. So this Mommy Monday video, it's not really Monday, but we'll just pretend it's Monday, and it's gonna be on my labor and delivery story that a lot of people wanted to know. I won't get too technical with you guys because sometimes giving birth isn't the prettiest thing in the world. It's a beautiful experience once the baby's out, but the process isn't all that. Anyways, so I gave birth to my daughter Liani. That's how you pronounce her name. For those wondering why we named her Liani anyways, her dad's name is Rayshawn Lee Ross, and I'm Kaylani Lynn Ross. And I was trying to find a way to like combine my husband's first name and my first name, but then I'm like, Kayshawn, that's ugly. Then I was like, Raylani, that's even more ugly. So I'm like, his middle name Lee, I've seen girls with that middle name before, so it's pretty like unisex name. So I was like, Lee. And at first I wanted to name her like Leanne or something like that. Then I wanted to do Leilani, but a friend of mine, her daughter's name is Leilani. So I was like, okay, I just didn't want to like feel like I was copying her. So I was like, Leani, and I don't know anyone with that name. And the way we spell it even more, I've never seen someone spell it that way. So we combined his middle name, Lee, and the Ani from my first name, and we got Liani. So her full name is Liani Valentina Ross. And yeah, that's pretty much how we got her name, for those that are like curious as to how we came up with that. Anyways, so on November 10th, I went into the hospital because I was in labor. That whole day, I wasn't really feeling the baby kick. And at that point in your pregnancy, when you're at the end, you're supposed to feel the baby kick. I don't remember the number, but it's like a certain amount of times a day. That whole day, I didn't really feel her kick, maybe just one time in a matter of like 12 hours. So that's not supposed to happen. So I went to the hospital and I was only 3 centimeters, and where I gave birth at, you cannot get admitted in the hospital until you are at least 4 centimeters. So because of the fact that she wasn't really kicking that much, they put me on the monitor, and then homegirl wanted to show off and was kicking all over the place. So she kind of made me look like I was crazy, that I didn't feel her kick all day, and then boom, out of nowhere, she like wouldn't stop kicking. So yeah, after they hooked me up to the monitor, like I don't know what the heck triggered in my body, but I started getting contractions like 2 minutes apart. Like it was like bam, right, one after another, and I hit 4 centimeters like within the hour of getting admitted. Well, I wasn't really admitted yet because like I said, within the hour of getting to the hospital. Then I got admitted when they told me that I was 4 centimeters. So I was in labor for 16 hours, which I feel like it's not really that bad compared to some stories that I've heard of other women in labor for like 3 days. And I'm like, oh no, child, I cannot deal with that. So I was in labor for 16 hours, and on November 11th at 12:42 p.m., little Miss Thing was born. My labor overall was pretty good. The only issue I had was every time I was getting a contraction, her heart rate would dip. So I kept having to turn on my sides, all these positions just to get her heart rate to pick back up. And I was praying I wouldn't have to get a C-section because I'm like such a punk when it comes to pain. Like legit, I will go to the hospital because like I have a cold. That's how like dramatic I am. So if I had to get like surgery, oh my God, they would probably have to freaking put me under because I don't even think I'd be able to like stay calm. So luckily I had a midwife. So I feel like midwives are more, they try their best to go the natural route as long as possible until it gets to a point that, okay, if it's really that serious, they'll send you to surgery. But in my case, they didn't. So again, I was just having to switch positions a lot. all through those 16 hours. But everything turned out fine. I had another issue. When they checked me when I was 10 centimeters, I was about to like start pushing. They noticed that she used a bathroom in me, if you know what I mean, and it wasn't pee, which could be dangerous because if they consume it, it can really affect them negatively. So when I pushed her out, I wasn't able to like have her on my chest like right away. You know, some moms, you know, they push the baby out, they come right on your chest. My kids, they couldn't do that. They had to, you know, I pushed her out and they took her straight to like make sure that she didn't consume any of her bodily fluids. But thank God everything was okay. And right after that, they put her on my chest. And oh my God, when I heard that first cry, I was so emotional. The midwife even asked me if I was crying tears of joy because I cried so much. But I wasn't crying because I was upset or anything. It's just as a mom, to have your baby grow inside of you and then the day that you meet them, you've been waiting 9 months for this very day. I never looked forward to anything so much in my life until the day that I gave birth to my child. And I was just filled with so much emotion. And I had my closest family members in the room with me. I had my mother, my mother-in-law, my husband, and my dad. But my dad was like behind me because he was like, I am not trying to see any of that. And I didn't want him seeing anything either. That's just kind of weird. He just wanted to see the moment the baby came out, but he's seen her from the other angle, not, you know, all frontal. So it was just emotional having everyone that I love there and my new child that I brought into this world. And like I said, I'm such a punk with pain, and holy moly, I just gave birth to a baby. Like, oh my God, I couldn't believe I did that. So, yeah, it was just such a beautiful, beautiful experience. And I healed really fast. It was a pretty easy, like labor and delivery. I would say one of the hardest things I had to go through was probably the week postpartum, like after giving birth. I was so emotional, like everything made me cry. My baby started sneezing and I busted out crying. I was like, I'm the worst mom in the world. How could I get her sick? She's not even a week old. Like, oh my God, what kind of mother am I? But my mom was like, relax, like, oops, my bad. I got too excited there. My mom was like, calm down, relax. Like, it's normal, you're a new mom, like you're emotional. Just, if you feel like you're getting depressed, let me know. And everyone kept thinking I was depressed because I just cried for everything, but I wasn't depressed. It was just like my hormones trying to like get back into function. It was really rough. Like, I cried for everything. Like, I was over, you know, when you have a newborn, everybody wants to come see the baby. So whenever I like had company come over, it would make me feel so overwhelmed having so many people around me. That made me cry. Yeah, just like weird random things made me cry. It wasn't even like, oh, I hate being a mom. It wasn't even any of that, which I don't hate being a mom. I would never hate being a mother. It was just like weird, like trying to like snap back into being normal again. And having a baby is something so dramatic from one day to the next. And, you know, at that point, her schedule was like super backwards. She would sleep during the day, keep me up at night. Then my husband worked, so he couldn't really like help me out too much because, I mean, he needed to rest. He had to work like a lot of hours the following day. So my mom like helped me out a lot. I don't know what I would have done without her. But seriously, like, I would so do it again. Like, I've had like the only baby fever because I see like everyone having kids, but then I'm thinking like, oh Lord Jesus, having 2 little kids, that seems like so much work. It's a hassle trying to get these videos done when having 1 baby. So I can't imagine like having 2 and my husband working and me trying to pursue this makeup career with 2 children. That's the only thing that like scares me about having a second child. I would love to have another baby, but it's just like, I don't know, I think I need to like establish myself a little more in the industry before I have another child. But yeah, children are like amazing though. My daughter drives me bananas, but there is no other way I would want it. She gives me attitude already. If I tell her like, no, you better not do that, she'll like grab my finger like, girl, you better get that finger on my face. I'm like, oh, what did I get myself into? But then my mom's like, like that's what you put me through, so good for you. And I'm like, oh Lord, how am I gonna have another child with an attitude like mine? Oh my God, I feel bad for my husband, especially when my daughter like becomes a teenager. Oh my God. Hopefully I gone through menopause by then, so he wouldn't have to deal with like double the hormones. But yeah, that is my labor and delivery story. My next Mommy Monday video, I don't know what it's gonna be on. Honestly, you guys can comment below, let me know what is it that you want me to talk about. You have any questions, whatever, just let me know, because I like to talk about things that you guys want to hear. I don't want to like bore you guys to death. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to my Mommy Monday, kind of not Monday, it's just a regular day of the week video. Yeah, so bye guys.